Alright, guys, I wanted to kind of do like a review of this brainchild of mine called the Survey Corp. You may have seen a couple of the shorts. Essentially, what it is that we have alien xenobiologists that study and document life on Earth, whether that be flora, fauna, and it's a bunch of hijinks that get into it. Just very briefly, Zarnock is kind of like a Dwight Schrute like character, very by the book, has to be perfect, that type of stuff. And it's like, is his flaws thinking that he is just too great, right? He's never wrong. Commander Vok would rather be anywhere else. He's very nonchalant about everything, very blase. He is kind of like a Ron Swanson character. And then we have Zintar. Zintar's like the intern. He's super eager to like prove himself. He wants to get like a full-time position, and he just doesn't get that respect from the rest of the team. And so he keeps pushing. He's naive in a lot of senses. He's young. He's inexperienced. And so it's kind of like how they interact with each other in an educational format to kind of break down the barrier of some of these like outdoor animal education stuff for an audience that may not be as receptive to it in like a classroom setting or like a talking head like this, right? So I wanted to make it animated. I wanted to make it something that I think everyone could have enjoyed. Some of the issues I've run into is that I use AI. I'd love to use people, but as you can see in these videos, there's a lot of still images, and people charge something like, between $20 to $40 on the cheap end for still images for one picture, and I am doing lots of them. Not even animating, not even talking about animating, just doing that. I'm doing, 10 maybe still images in a like a very short period of time. So I'd be spending something like $300 on an episode where I'm not making any money on it, and it's just not a feasible thing for me to be doing. So I just wanted to explain why I use some of the AI, some of the inconsistencies present, because AI is really bad when it comes to keeping consistencies between shots because the regenerations and everything. So I spend literal hours hours generating this stuff and trying to make sure that it's what I want in terms of like, all right, cool, well, let's keep this consistent. And then sometimes, I'll spend 30-40 minutes on a still image and it'll get so wrong that I'm just like, all right, cool. He has ears for some reason. I don't want him to have ears, but this thing can't get it right. So I'm just gonna keep the ears on here for my sanity. So it's not pumping out a quality product, but I'm hoping this stands as a basis for what I want the show to be. I'm trying to raise awareness and get people interested in it so that I can begin to, you know, push out things that's a little bit more quality. I got a whole team on standby waiting for a pilot to be made so I can do some crowdfunding. So, got real animators, got real uh, lead writers. I got a sound guy. I got people who are editors and everything. I got all of them on standby waiting for funding to come through. So, but I just wanted to give you guys an idea of like what it is, show you guys kind of my process behind what I'm thinking about, what I'm doing. So I got my headphones on so I can hear these things and it doesn't like interfere with this when I'm going to overlay the video. This is a portrait, and the the other one is going to be probably right here, and it's probably not going to look great. I'm not great at editing. I'm a first and foremost, but again, hoping this just gives you an idea of what the brain child is, the thing in my head, and hopefully I can translate it well so you guys can understand. And I hope you stay on board with it with me. Really, I want to be able to do nature education in a way that a lot of people may be receptive of, and I think that's through animation. I think that's through comedy. I think that's through lowering the entry point and making it more accessible for a lot of people. So I want to put it up here on YouTube. So, but yeah, that's the intro. We'll get into the video. Give me just a second. Okay, this first video that we're doing is called The Platypus Incident. and it's basically you'll see in the show. It's about Zarnok giving a presentation to Vok, kind of reporting back about a creature that he had found and how he's like telling him all about it. Vok's just like, blah, 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 blah. You know, he's that can't exist type stuff. So, yeah. So introduction of the characters, kind of feel like I had one more before this, and it's just I don't think it's good enough quality to even talk about. I liked it kind of. I liked the premise. I just didn't like the execution of it. Anyways, here we go.
Commander, the Earthlings refer to this as a platypus. It is a mammal, yet it lays eggs, has venom glands, webbed feet, and a duck-like facial appendage. They call it
Zarnok.
a monotreme.
You made that up.
I assure you, I did not. It is real.
You can see
And
AI.
it
The
lactates through skin pores.
the screen's different.
Okay, Zarnok, let me get this straight. This thing swims like a duck, lays eggs like a reptile, stings like a scorpion, sweats milk, and you want me to believe it exists on purpose?
All true things.
Here is the venom chart.
He has ears.
Note the ankle spurs.
I don't like him to
Only
have
the males
ears.
produce it. It's seasonal.
It is seasonal.
You're doing a bit. Is this Zentar's prank? Where is he? You're both in on this.
Commander,
The screen
this
keeps
is
changing.
A breach of scientific integrity. Hey,
Zentar.
I found this in the mess bay. It tried to spur my boot. Oh, I think it likes you, boss.
Son of a bitch.
One of my favorite lines for him. So, as you can see here, I want two distinct head ridges. They often come out looking like antenna for some reason, like they're weird ant people. Not exactly what I was going for. I like the head ridges, like two bumps going back. He has ears in this. I decided I don't like how the ears look. They look kind of Vulcan. Not really my thing right here. So I removed the ears later on. But you can tell the screens that he was showing him, Zarnok was showing Vok, is that like they changed. They're not looking quality. They're not looking good between them. It's just a problem with AI and just trying to regenerate things consistently. It just doesn't work. Let's see. Let's do Murder Birds next. So, like I said, Zentar is an intern. He's eager to prove himself. This is him taking on a project, finding out about some animals, and then reporting it back to Vok and Zarnok about kind of what's going on. And so they're listening to this presentation, trying to get feedback, trying to understand. Give him a rating, see how he's doing. So he's like eager. He's like, yeah, I want to prove, that type of stuff. Vok's very blasé. And Zarnok is just like, by the rules, this is an integrity issue. Like, how dare you say that I'm not serious about my job? Type stuff. So, here we go. Murder Birds.
All right, sirs. I've compiled a presentation titled Earth's Fire.
Audio so bad.
Misunderstood or malevolent. It's part of my internship, and thank you for the opportunity.
This ends with more penguin mating.
Throw back
cases.
to the
I
platypus thing on his
swear I'm ejecting
newspaper.
myself.
No, sir. This
Ears
one's
again.
about
Eye color.
cassowaries and shrikes. Earth creatures with surprising hostility.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a giant turkey.
A giant turkey with knives for feet.
Our design
Zarnok.
changed for
That's
some
a
reason.
Dinosaur in drag.
Exactly. The cassowary can gut a human with a single kick.
They can,
Territorial, fast, and those feet, they make bone look like butter.
Give me 6 of them, Zarnok. We're replacing security.
That might be overkill. Now, on to shrikes.
Shrikes
What in
are
the
scary.
Gordian hell is wrong with that bird?
Hey, kebabs. Nice to finally meet a bird of culture.
They skewer prey on thorns and barbed wire to eat later. It's a bit grim, but it's efficient.
Kid's good. Creepy good.
Unexpectedly thorough. Thanks. I even
Praise.
caught a live shrike for further study.
That's not what a real
I
shrike
named
looks
him
like, but
Pokey.
Prep the airlock.
that was Prep the Airlock was a throwback to the first video that I did about eyes with them. And so the I he's telling him about it, and he's just like, that thing's nightmare fuel. Ah! And it's just like, have you heard about the goblin shark? You know, some like other guy from like the team comes up and he's just like, you hear about the goblin shark? And he's just like, get the airlock ready. And you know, so it's supposed to be like a recurring bit, but you might hear that a couple of times in these shorts and stuff. But yeah, this style right here, this end clip, is kind of what I'm like envisioning for Vok, with the two distinct head ridges going back, very furrowed brow, you know, serious, but also just like I'd rather be somewhere else, just like. Rah. So that was the second one. Let's see, I got lots of these. We'll do Moose Dive if I can find it. Alright, here we go. I found it. This is Moose Dive. Basic premise behind Moose Dive is that I wanted to get them actually doing the job. I wanted to see them in the element, like them doing the research and stuff. So this idea is that Zintar is going with Zarnok on a mission, and he's like kind of telling him, it's just like, all right, hey, well, let's go ahead and do this. You'll get some on-hands learning with this stuff. And so they're collecting flora samples from like underwater. So, and the idea is that like one of the fun facts is that moose dive upwards of 20 to 30 feet in order to like eat aquatic plants. That's part of their diet. And so this is just kind of like that fact being revealed, and like how Zintar and like Zarnok have these interactions with each other as they learn these facts. So here we go.
So,
this was
remind me
very
one more
difficult
time
to
here
get
again.
the stuff
Part
right.
of your internship requires you to do flora sampling and aquatic terrain analysis. I figured we'd multitask. Uh-huh, cool. So, what do I do? Collect some muskrats
Real thing.
over there by the rocks. There's no sharks in here, right? No sharks. Only thing you gotta worry about down here is a moose. Moose? Underwater? Yep.
Ears.
They can dive 20 feet to feed on aquatic plants, but there's none out here. Then what's that?
Music cuts.
So you lost a fight to a
Here's
moose?
again.
It had the element of surprise. And antlers.
Zarnok's pride's hurt.
Honestly, I respect it.
You go out for samples.
Yep. So I think that might be enough for like, you know, giving you guys an idea of like what I want the Survey Corp to be. And I've since done quite a few like really short ones, like here's 10 seconds here, here's 15 seconds here, just trying to like, feel the algorithm, see what people are liking. So there's a 10-second one about cone snails, you know, one of the most venomous things on the planet. And the thing I really liked about cone snails is that like there's apostatism, which is like animals having deeply colored things in order to scare stuff away. Just like, don't touch me, you know, like poison dart frogs and stuff, and they're just like, don't touch me, I'm dangerous. So I just thought it was funny with cone snails and how they have they are some of the most pretty like shells out there. The really intricate designs on them and stuff, and like I wanted Zarnok, like this naive individual, Zintar. I wanted Zintar, a very naive individual, to like be really interested in it. And so, you know, this is and Zarnok is explaining how poisonous, well, venomous, they actually sting you and injects this venom into you. And I wanted that to happen. And Zintar is just like, ooh, it's so pretty. And he reaches down to grab it. And he's like, what are you doing? Smack. You know, it's like, don't touch that. And so that was the idea behind that one. And me explaining these stuff is way longer than actually just watching the videos. I got them up on my shorts. The other one is the peregrine falcon. I love birds of prey. I love raptors and stuff like that. Peregrine falcon's the fastest living creature that we know about. 240 miles an hour in straight dives. And they do that to, like, you know, they'll hang up above on these mountain cliffs in, like, these skyscrapers. Like, they're in, like, big cities because, like, pigeons or rock doves are these really big, like, they're just a staple of, like, urban life. And they're abundant. And so peregrine falcons have used that to adapt to, and they'll hang out on top of skyscrapers, and then they'll just see these birds just, and they'll just dive down and just poof, and just feathers. Just something hitting them at 240 miles an hour, you know? And so that's kind of what I wanted to envision, that, like, Xintar is, like, this guy who is on this tree, and he's like, oh, you little birdie, you know? And then all of a sudden, boom, it's gone. He's like, oh, he's horrified, you know? And then Voxer, like, the first time in, like, this thing that I'm doing, he's out in the field. He's not normally out in the field because, you know, he'd rather be doing anything else. But he's up on the branch of Zarnok, and he's like, look at this. This is the peregrine falcon. And he's like, oh. And he's like, dives down, gets the bird. Xintar is shocked and, like, sad, and then, like, Vok comes in with, like, a bit where he's just like, talk about fast food. And it's like this is, it's a 15-second clip. I'm just trying to feel for it. I know, last thing I'm going to say about this is that a lot of people do not like the fact that I use AI. I don't like that I use AI. I don't want to use AI. But I have no money. I don't have enough followers on TikTok to make money. I certainly don't have 4,000 watch hours or 1,000 followers here on YouTube. And so I am not making any money off of any of this stuff. I can't draw personally. And if I could, I don't think it would be the quality enough to draw people in. So I'm at this catch-22 where it's like I have to be able to push out a quality product for people to, you know, be interested in it, so that I can then make money, so I can then requisition artists to be able to do that stuff. But I'm in a position where I can't draw, and I need people to get interested, and AI gives me enough quality to be able to explain to you guys kind of the vision, so I can be able to do things like hire people full-time to do this stuff. I mean, here's the thing. I'd love to work with an artist, you know, and, like, have them come on board and be willing to bear through, you know, not being paid while I'm not getting paid, you know, in order to get to a point where we're both getting money, right? I'd love to have a partner come on board. But it's a difficult sell, right? Like, how do you tell someone that this is my idea, this is something I really am, like, passionate about, I really want to make it work? I want you to do that too. I want you to be as passionate as I am about this, and also give me all this work and effort for free. You know, like, you're not gonna find anyone. I think artists should get paid a fair rate for what they do. I'm not saying that artists shouldn't get paid what they're asking for. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be getting $40 a still frame. By all means, if they are really good at their job, they should be getting paid something that's worth that. I'm just saying that I can't afford it. I don't have the funds to do that. I don't have funds to drop several $100s an episode, and animators are even more expensive. I've gotten quotes for the pilot and stuff like that, and just a test clip, 10 to 15 seconds, is $200, and it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money just to see if their animation and what they're doing is going to be something that I want to have on the team, right? And so long term, I'm looking at thousands of dollars for this pilot, and I want to invest in myself, but I want to make sure that, you know, the desire is there. I want to make sure people are on board and passionate about this, and they want to see more of this. Because if I spend 10 grand on this pilot episode and no one wants to see it, then, you know, but that's enough doom and gloom. I really, really like this show. I really like the idea of it. I want to make more of it. Give me a follow. Show me that you're interested in this stuff. Give me a follow. I'll keep posting the same type of stuff on my shorts. I'll do my same, regular science fact stuff, regular animal stuff. I have a TikTok, same handle, Science Dean. Show me some love, like and follow. If I can get paid, do this stuff, then I can start really making quality stuff that I think everyone would like. Yeah. So do that for me, please. Like, follow, share, subscribe, all those things. Bye, guys.